Arcane is an artistic masterpiece, a show that brings art to life in a way that's just so mesmerizing. I want to capture that feeling I get from looking at Arcane with my own art. So for today's video, we are going to be trying to uncover the secrets of Arcane's art style, along with trying to replicate it myself and learning some new technique for me to paint with. Before we begin, let me showcase some of my recent artworks I made and show you what my current style looks like. And as you can see, it doesn't really give that splash art feeling that Arcane does. My art feels more muted next to the pieces from the show. So when studying a stylization of art, we need to pick out key details that Arcane does that we notice right away that we can add into our own art. And I'm sure the one we notice right away is the eyes. They portray the eyes and the eye sockets in such emotion and depth with very harsh shading on most characters. Above and below the eye sockets, this stylistic choice has a unique look to it, which I really like and want to try in my own pieces to give more depth. And I feel like my own artwork falls into a boring eye category where it will never be a focal point. The second main feature of the Arcane style is the form and shape of their characters. They based the entire head model from the Asaro head. If you don't know what the Asaro head is, it's a 3D model that you can use online, and you may move the head around and see how it looks different from different angles, from different lighting scenarios, but really what it is 3D model of a head that has all the bones and the planes of faces, so you can really see the depth. So for the eyes, you can really see that it caves in on the eyes. Many artists use the Asaro head to learn how to draw heads in the beginning, so I actually gave it a chance and just tried to paint an Asaro head myself. And if I remember here, let me pull that up on the screen, and it was kind of ugly, I'll be honest. This is before I attempted anything else. It wasn't the greatest, but I feel like it's a great thing to study, so maybe I gotta start studying the Asaro head, because it is a great thing to learn as an artist if you want to learn how to draw heads in portraits. And that leads us to our first study, which is going to be on Jinx. I'm going to be trying my hardest to replicate this. I'm still of a beginner artist, so my process might not be right, but I start with a basic sketch, which let's just say took way longer than the video will show, and I start to add in colors, just some base colors. And this is where I want to really try to change up my style and go Arcane on this. And for the last year, I always leave the line art layer on and I just paint under it, but this time I wanted to hide the line art layer and just paint normally and make it feel more hand painted vibe. And at first it was looking disgusting. I'm sorry, the head shape, couldn't decide on it. It just, everything just wasn't feeling right because it was just straight painting. But over time, the painting felt natural. I slowly started to block out the main shapes of Jinx. And one thing they do well, like I said earlier, is their characters have very prominent shapes. And even in Jinx, we can see very prominent shapes form. I use these basic shadows and shapes to map out where I'm going to put details, and I slowly begin carving and shaping my painting out. I've never digitally painted like this, so I will say it took a couple hours, but as you watch, I slowly get the hang of it, and I kind of realized that you can just be messy, Arcane is a series that promotes imperfection breeds beauty, and I really love that. I think that even in painting and in art, you can do that yourself. Nothing will ever be perfect. You can just keep painting over mistakes, and that was something I really liked. Instead of just hitting the undo button, I would just paint over a different shade of color. And let me just speed up, I'll just let you guys watch the speed paint of the last bit here, and I will catch you guys when we're done with this painting. And bam, we are done with the Jinx. This took many hours, but I'm very proud of this. I really feel like I mimicked the art style of Arcane, and I got out of my own comfort zone. This one, and honestly, I want to keep painting without line art on my normal pieces moving forward. This has just a nice organic look to it, but yeah, overall, I'm really proud of this. I think I nailed it. I feel really happy. I think Jinx looks great. It looks pretty similar to the reference. Now, on to our final study. I wanted to take my favorite scene of the entire show, which was the Echo and Powder dancing together and then sitting together and sharing a kiss. Something about that whole scene just felt magical in a way that just made me keep thinking about it. To me, it feels like one of those scenes that just captures emotion perfectly, and I would love to give it a try in my own art. Something that I love about art is people and artists can portray emotions through their art, and that is something I want to one day be able to do with my own art. So I feel like this is just the perfect one to go for. This one's going to be a little bit harder because it's a way bigger piece, and I stayed up till like midnight working on it, but I was motivated. So once again, like the Jinx study, I started with the sketch and then I abandoned it just to purely paint, and I made sure to really try to add dark points to the eye sockets and on Echo's cheekbone to give definition. I will let the speed play pay for you guys, but really how I did this was I just felt like I kept painting over and over and over, rendering, and some of the proportions kept getting wrong, so I'd go back, erase, and then try to add some skin, erase, go back, fix the head shape, fix the hair shape. I just felt like it wasn't right, but I just kept rendering, and that's, how we did it. So I'll catch you guys after the next speed paint.
Feeling lazy, just be honest, baby. We got different phases, give it all, take it all. I'm just feeling lazy.
And here we are, guys. This turned out beautiful. I can say that this was probably the best artwork I have ever created, and I have just fallen in love with trying to replicate this style. This Arcane style is beautiful. I love how it's paintery. It's kind of realistic in a way, and I love how they use the shadows, and I would love to just keep trying to do this in my own artwork moving forward. This painting took quite some time. I just couldn't decide on where I wanted to do things. Like I kept erasing and then the head shape. Echo's head shape was just throwing me off, man. Dude got a dome on the back of his head. But I'm proud of how this all turned out. I really feel like I captured the mood of the scene, and if you guys have any tips and advice for me moving forward as I study art and learn art, and and before I forget, let me quickly drop my fail of an art study on Jace. I did one more, but I didn't want to showcase it because it was just ugly, and I want to show this just to show that I am also human. I fail a lot, but hey, I'll take 2 out of 3 successes. Bam, there's the Jace. Disgusting, I know. He's ugly. But regardless, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know any more fun videos to make, or if you'd like to see more Arcane studies. But regardless, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you next time.